The forearm and the hand muscles can be some of the trickiest ones to learn. This is due to a few reasons, including the complex movements that our hands do, which require complex muscle groups. Another reason is that the hand will supinate and pronate independent of the body and the elbow. Models and pictures are sometimes shown in anatomical position with the palm up. But most of the time, our hands are palms in or down, so this can be tricky when studying cadavers because they are also most likely to be positioned with their palms in or down. For this reason, it is important to study the muscles with where their origin and insertions are and where they are located in relation to other muscles and bone structures. As we go through these muscles, you will find that many are extensors or flexors. So here's a reminder that flexors bring the hand closer to the body like this, so the flexors will be found on the palm side. Extensors will bring the hand away from the body like this, so we will find the extensors on the nail side. We are now going to start with the Brachioradialis. I like to start with this one because it's the biggest of the muscles in the lower arm and is also on the lateral side by the radius and thumb. So here we've got our Brachioradialis. This angled muscle here is the Pronator Teres. Like the name suggests, this muscle pronates the hand. If we remove the Brachioradialis, we can then see this muscle here, which is the supinator, and just like before, this muscle supinates the hand. Looking at the forearm directly anteriorly, we're going to start with the Palmaris longus here. The Palmaris longus is the most superficial muscle on the anterior forearm and is typically very long and small. Interestingly, some people don't even have this muscle. You can check to see if you have it by bringing your fingers together and then flexing your hand like this. So you can see mine very clearly right there. Just laterally to the Palmaris longus, or towards the thumb, we have the Flexor Carpi Radialis. This name comes because it flexes the hand and inserts at the carpals by the radius. So again, our Flexor Carpi Radialis right here. Just deep to these, we have our Flexor Digitorum Superficialis. Once again, the name tells us a lot. This muscle flexes the digits and sits superficially. So again, it's here. If we remove this group of muscles, we can see some of the deep muscles of the forearm. So here we have the Flexor Digitorum Profundus. Again, the name makes sense because it flexes the digits and is located more deep than the previous one. A fun way to remember this one is that when somebody says something really profound, you can say, wow, that's really deep. So this muscle is very deep in the arm. Laterally from here, we have the Flexor Pollicis longus. Pollicis in Latin means thumb, so it's the flexor of the thumb. Below these, we have the Pronator Quadratus, which we can barely see a portion of here, but it can be seen better on the 3D printed models and on this picture shown here. The last flexor we have is this large medial muscle. This one is the Flexor Carpi Ulnaris. It flexes the hand and inserts into the carpals by the ulna. We're now going to move to the posterior side of the forearm. I like to find the more obvious muscles first and then go from there. So we have the Extensor Digitorum here, and as the name suggests, it extends the digits. Medially, or towards the pinky, we have this muscle here, which is the Extensor Digiti Minimi, which extends the pinky. Continuing medially, we have the Extensor Carpi, Ulnaris. So this one extends the hand and then inserts into the carpals by the ulna. Right next to it, you can see the posterior side of the flexor carpi ulnaris. So you have the flexor carpi ulnaris, and then you have the extensor carpi ulnaris. Towards the elbow, we have this triangular muscle called the Anconeus. I like to remember this one because if you walk past a safety cone, you might trip and fall and land on your elbow, bruising the area of the Anconeus. A fairly tricky one is the extensor indices. This muscle extends our index finger, so we'll start by looking at the back of the pointer finger. Here we can see two tendons that reach into the forearm. This one, you can see, extends and joins the extensor digitorum. So then this one right here, which is just a little bit deep and towards the pinky, is the extensor indices. Our last group of muscles is going to be on the lateral side or the thumb side of the arm. We're going to start by finding the Brachioradialis here. Moving towards the hand and around, we have the Longus-Brevis, Longus-Brevis, Longus. And then remember that the middle one is the odd one out. So find the Brachioradialis. Then here we have the extensor carpi radialis longus, then the extensor carpi radialis brevis, then the abductor pollicis longus, then the extensor pollicis brevis, then the extensor pollicis longus. So again, from before, starting at the brachioradialis, we have longus brevis, longus brevis, longus. And that concludes our arm muscles.